Spirituality is a battle. If you're understanding the world in a way you didn't previously understand it. This is what most people don't understand. It is a battle. About yourself and learning about other people and learning about what it would take for you as a person to be prepared to sacrifice human years inside of a jail cell to resist enslavement, not only for you, not only for your family, but for humanity as a whole. That is a spiritual battle. And in the age of machines, it's only going to be the spiritual people that have any kind of differentiation between the Matrix and humanity at all. That's your USP, your spirituality. Don't you understand?
Hi guys, welcome to Selectpedia. We always feature someone in Selectpedia. In today's video, we are featuring Andrew Tate. That Andrew Tate is talking about the topic of spirituality. So what Andrew Tate have thoughts about this topic? Let's listen and by the Andrew Tate and conclude what Andrew Tate says about this topic. So let's start.
It's the age of spirituality. It's time to not do yoga because that's gay, but you got to look for some kind of spiritual endeavor. I chose fighting personally because I think that entering the cage and beating the shit out of somebody and having your life put on the line and struggling for air against a worthy adversary is as spiritual as life gets as a man. But it's the age of spirituality because we're all to be replaced by machines quite quickly. And perhaps the only thing that's going to differentiate
Andrew Tate is saying, I am agree with this point that because machines are replacing us, like ChatGPT and robotic systems are coming in the market. So machines are replacing all the humans, jobs also be replaced by machine. So I agree with this point.
Differentiate you is a spiritual component. If you're strictly regimented inside of this physical world, you're going to lose. ChatGPT can outperform most of you at most tasks already. That's a free app on a web browser. Where are we going to be in 10, 20, 30 years from now? The only thing that's going to be able to differentiate you from the machine mind, from the hive mind, is a degree of spirituality. So we need to all go on some degree of spiritual quest, right? Then you have to ask yourself, what is the spiritual quest? What is spirituality? Because there's people who read the books and walk with the rocks and do the garbage. But I don't think that's real spirituality. I think real spirituality is truthfully always been some degree of battle, whether it's a battle against yourself or a battle against an adversary. That's what spirituality is. That's what it's for. Good versus evil. Heaven versus hell. So you need something to fight against. I analyze myself quite often. Why do I do what I do? Why do I say the things I do and keep getting myself in trouble? Why don't I just shut up and vanish on a boat with a bunch of women and live a happy, easy life? I think it's because there's a spiritual component to war. Knowing that I'm doing the right thing or believing that I'm doing the right thing against oppression makes my spirit happy. Because if you're not going to become a spiritual being in the coming years, I don't know how you're going to differentiate yourself from the machine.
Right. If you are doing something and you are not spiritually happy, you don't do this. If your spirit is happy, you do this. Okay.
I don't know how you're going to even compete in this world any longer. You have to be prepared to sacrifice your flesh to resist enslavement. Otherwise, you're just going to be another cog in the machine. Even worse, you're going to be replaced by a machine as your previous place inside of the machine. And then I guess you just become a slave, asking handouts from the government, praying they give you enough bugs to eat. So what are you fighting for? I guess this is a very interesting question to ask most people. In fact, since I've become rich and I don't really need to make much sense to the common man anymore, it's a question I ask quite often. Members of staff come to me and they say, oh, hi.
Right, all things are good.
I'd like to work for you and I can do this, I can do that. I say, what are you fighting for? Fighting? What do you mean? Fired. Loser! What do you mean, what do I mean? Why are you getting up and consuming calories? Why are you waking up and doing anything anymore? You could lay in bed for the next 2 weeks, you'd find food, you wouldn't starve, your bills would get paid. Why are you even waking up in the morning? What are you even doing with your life? What is your goal? What is your objective? There are no vacuums. There are no empty space. All of the land of earth has been conquered. You can't go and find land that doesn't belong to somebody else. If you're achieving anything, if you're expanding your consciousness in any direction, you're expanding it against opposing forces. You have a nemesis for all regards. As you grow spiritually, there's a huge bubble around you which is trying to constrict you, which is trying to keep you in your place as a slave. You are at war if you are enlightening yourself, if you're learning things, if you're understanding the world in a way you didn't previously understand it. This is what most people don't understand. It is a battle. Spirituality is a battle. Learning
Really, spirituality is battle. Good.
about yourself and learning about other people and learning about what it would take for you as a person to be prepared to sacrifice human years inside of a jail cell to resist enslavement, not only for you, not only for your family, but for humanity as a whole. That is a spiritual battle. And in the age of machines, it's only going to be the spiritual people that have any kind of differentiation between the Matrix and humanity at all. That's your USP, your spirituality. Don't you understand? That's why you have to do the things you're supposed to do, because you're supposed to do them irregardless of the consequence. That's why you must do it. Because if you don't, you're entering a playing field you can no longer compete on. You are becoming a terrible version of a machine. You can't do math quicker than a calculator. You are going to lose. You now have to be a spiritual being to matter in this world anymore. It's quite interesting how God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, depending on your religion, has given us now in this age of technological advancement so many spiritual battles to fight. We are fighting for the soul of humanity. We're fighting for the ability to have children who respect us and who obey us, and have families which are sanctimoniously protected from the
In the world, every person is fighting. These words are also 100% accurate and right. Okay.
outside programming by the Matrix. We are fighting for the ability to live free, to say what we believe, to have a point of view. There are endless spiritual battles all around us now. They've been given to us at the exact time we needed them. We needed spiritual battles, and here they are. So most of your waking day as a man, of course you must make money, of course you must train, of course you must prepare for the oncoming enslavement in the physical realm, but you need to prepare in the spiritual realm. You have to ask yourself a question: are you genuinely prepared for the consequences of doing the right thing? I think you reach a level of enlightenment when you understand that you are. One of the most fantastic things about this saga that I've been through is that I have no fear of jail. I've been to jail. I've been in and out of jail 5 times now. I'm one of those guys. I'm in and out of jail. You know those guys, and you say, oh, you hear about that guy? Oh yeah, he's in and out of jail. That's me. But now I'm no longer scared of them. The worst thing they can do to me within the confines of the law is lock me up. I'm not afraid of it. Which has made me more determined to do the right thing. More determined to feed my soul and feed my spirit and be a spiritual being who's doing the things he believes to be right purely because they believe to be right, irregardless of the consequences here in this physical realm, because the physical realm is soon to be conquered purely by the Matrix and the machine minds, and there's going to be nothing left for us at all anyway besides an artificial version of reality that they'll project into your eyes, very much like the Matrix. We're 50 years away from you putting on goggles and pretending to be a millionaire and pretending to sleep with girls in Miami with your little goggles on, jerking off.
Right.
In fact, most of you are already there.
Right.
That's what's going to happen. You're going to either live inside of the slave machine mind, or you're going to be one of the rebels resisting, doing the right thing because it should be done. So, I guess, when I was younger, I'd date a hippie girl and she'd say, your third eye and karma. And you'd be like, shut up. I mean, I'm still like, shut up. Because the women don't really understand it. They just read it or they see it on Netflix and repeat it. But there is a point to it. There is a point that you need to start looking at the world differently. You need to look at it from a karmic standpoint, a karmic viewpoint. There are karmic retributions that you don't quite understand. Everything I do, I look at very logically. I make a very logical real world plan. Then I look at it karmically. How will this karmically affect me if I'm successful? How will this karmically affect me if I fail?
Right.
You can actually put yourself in a position where you win either way. I'm a legend if I walk. I'm a legend if I go to jail. Win-win. You need to analyze everything from the karmic standpoint. I understand what I'm saying is going to go over a lot of your heads. But truthfully, if you go to work to make money to feed your family because you know you need money to pay the bills, that's one thing. But if you go to work to make money to feed your family because you believe it is your duty as a man to provide to the people you love, and you believe that them respecting you for doing that will allow them to listen to you and trust you, so when you tell them what they saw on the TV was wrong, and you can help them resist the enslavement which is being broadcast into their eyes directly from the matrix, and they're more likely to listen to you because of the respect they have for you for the hard work you've done, then your job doesn't just become a job about currency or a job about paying bills. It becomes a spiritual job that allows you to gain karmic points in the realm, which will be used to save the souls of the people you love. Do you understand?
Right. Guys, all the things were right, because if a man is spiritual, his thoughts are spiritual, then he should also work in hard way. So spiritually is also important, but sometimes spiritually keep you in a circle. So I hope you understand all things. Goodbye for the next.